What's going on? Monk Nation coming back at you. We got a very special one today for you. Pope Leo, Killicam, and Fred Jones, Sean
Yes,
Collins
sir.
on the Zoom today. Guys, this one's special because Sean, there's a lot to talk about here. And now he's currently living in Vegas with us as a team.
Yeah.
So, Sean, real quick, bro,
Yeah.
because I know beforehand you were doing everything yourself
hmm
and you were running your whole entire coaching business at home in Pennsylvania, where you're originally from.
Yep.
And then you came across Monk Nation. We all got in contact. We all hopped on a Zoom, and that's how really everything started out. So, if you can kind of give us a little background, bro, of how we all got in contact and when we jumped on the call, what you thought about it, and then you called us a couple days later and said, "Hey, you know what? I'm actually ready to get this."
hmm Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, it all kind of started. I got into social media and posting online uh, out of high school, saw minimal success. Really was that's what I knew that's what I wanted to do with myself. So after I saw that minimal success, I dropped out of college. Um, got provided with an opportunity to go out to Texas, and that's actually where I met Cam through some forgotten connections and just 2 years of just solo journey, posting every day, kind of going through that character building period of just trying to figure everything out on your own. Um, and I got myself in a position where I felt like I had managed to create a life that was down the path of fitness and bodybuilding. It wasn't going to school for some other major and doing this as a plan B. It was like I've fully committed myself to this. I'm finding my way slowly. And then Monk Nation got provided as an opportunity for me. And I was really becoming aware of the fact of how hard it is to do all of the stuff that the mentality of Monk Nation carries by yourself. Um, because it's a lot of discipline, a lot of hard work. And if you can only count on yourself, you're beating yourself up. And then when you're doing good, you're thinking highly of yourself. And it's just a very demanding circle to stay in. And I think when I joined Monk Nation, it was a bit of the switch up from doing everything on my own to having a community I could count on was different in its own. And it's definitely something that I've grown to love.
Solid, bro. And Sean, how long have you been on the team for?
I think it's uh I think I joined February.
Yeah.
February or March.
February. Okay. And then you
Almost
came
eight,
out
9 months.
you came out for the retreat.
Team leader.
Yep.
Yeah. And
In
that was
June or July.
June or July. That was the first time that we had actually met. But in Sean's, he's saying that the first time we crossed paths was in 2023. I was also coaching Leo in 2023, but I was coaching another client, like you said, forgotten acquaintances. And that one client was a part of Sean's clique, and that is how we kind of ended up connecting via social media. So another thing that I want to ask Sean, because I mean, you made the decision to go all in before joining Monk Nation. You're the one who dropped out of college after one semester. You're the one who really committed, and like you said, you were really hungry at the beginning, and it evolved. But there's a lot of people. Sean's 21 years old. He's competed in a number of shows. He just competed this past weekend in our home city of Las Vegas. I want to so out of now being moved out here for the last 2 months, let's talk about what most people are anxious to hear about, which is what did the prep look like? I mean, it's the first time you're moving across the country, right? Me and Leo, and we've had the opportunity to meet siblings, family members, parents. And so just talk about you, the personal, because I've seen the YouTube videos of you documenting the whole, but give the audience a little bit more tangible perspective on what all went into you moving out here, training and the prep, and how was that experience?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think I'm very grateful for the fact that this wasn't my first show. because kind of just knowing my way around things and how things are on a bodybuilding prep, kind of I knew what to expect and I knew things were gonna get hard. And I think when you know that, it's easier because I mean I really didn't find myself in that like prep mindset where you're kind of just like waiting for your next meal until I was 3 weeks out. But this was also definitely the most locked in prep I've ever done. Like I was always coaching myself, like doing everything on myself, going off that. It would be like I'm just looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty flat right now. I don't think this is good. I'm natural. I don't have a ton of muscle. Let me
Mm,
eat more tonight, see how I'm looking tomorrow. And then I'd get a
mm.
good pump the next day and be like, yeah, it's pretty good. Do that for a couple more days, flatten out, and then just eat a bunch again, get a good pump. And this time I mean, we just consistently dropped calories and dropped the carbs and
Yeah.
checked the weight every day, and there was no fluctuation really or of anything. And then adding in the calculated refeeds,
Not splurging. I know what you're
right?
trying to say. I mean, just to
Yeah,
get the coach's perspective, because they're hearing you, the
exactly,
athlete, which you're saying everything factually. It's knowing that you were at a certain level of IQ because you had a certain number of shows under your belt already, all self coached, all self educated, no really constructed guidance. Like you said, you were going off of the way you were looking in the mirror for the most part, kind of semi tracking calories and macros, but again, the flexibility moving here, not only was this the most locked in, it's easier when you're waking up every day and you're doing literally bodybuilding and the
right,
coach and the teams here and we're training at these gyms. So the edification of, Sean's success this past weekend, and we're about to let him tell you what the results were, did pretty good. It was the attention to detail and really everybody that was involved, the acceptance of, I mean, what we talk about so repetitively, which is the monk way of life. I mean, when you're locked in, I think that was able to allow you to focus,
for sure.
and the change of environment, everything was compounded. But tell the folks, what was the outcome of this past weekend, and what are your intentions now being a part of a team and having new responsibilities on that team as well?
Sean and Cam, I want to go back to something real quick
Okay.
because Cam, you keep bringing up that Sean moved out here. And
Yeah.
Sean, that's a huge, huge move on your part, bro, because
Yeah.
you're used to being at home with your
Mm.
parents back in Pennsylvania on the East Coast, and now you're over here on the West Coast, and you didn't just move out here. You moved out here and now you're staying with everybody at the team house
with an
in Las
e-bike,
Vegas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's
So
had
Yep.
about five flats.
what was the decision for you, bro? Because I know you came out here for the retreat and you experienced Vegas for, about a week.
It was the
What made you
sushi.
make the decision to actually move out here and live with the team and actually live with bodybuilding
That's
and
actually a good
coaching as your
question.
income?
I mean, it was just completely aligned with what I saw for my future. I think the opportunity presented itself and it was like this would be almost like a self-sabotage if I didn't at
Mm,
least see where this has will take me. I mean, I knew I was moving out here as a part of MonkNation and what the brand stands for. So it was
mm,
a big thing, like moving away from my family and my parents, but the goal never really changed. And I think being in a different environment, especially with other people who are striving for the same goals,
mm,
I think alluding to what we said had previously, when you're doing it alone, you kind of think you're doing the most. You're doing all that you can, and you're being as productive and efficient as you can. But just being here and being in a different
mm.
environment allowed that to actually take place fully. And
And
I, yeah,
that's how you know you're dedicated and you love what you do, bro.
yeah,
Good stuff. But now going into the bodybuilding show, bro, because you fucking killed it.
yeah,
Let's go into kind of
Back to
how
my
that
question. Yeah.
that went over, bro, because you did three different divisions. Like I've never
yep,
seen anybody do that either.
Yeah. Did all three.
yeah. So we did men's physique, classic physique, and open bodybuilding. I just did a novice bodybuilding division, which we won, which qualified us for the novice overall in bodybuilding, which we won. And then we did an open and a novice class for both classic and men's physique. Took both the novice classes, which qualified us for the novice overalls. Took both the novice overalls. Took first in the open men's physique, which qualified us for the overall, where we got second, or what I can assume was second because they moved me to the
Yeah.
middle. And then we got fourth in the open classic physique class.
Not bad.
Not bad. We
Not
looked
bad.
the best package
So
for sure.
I want to piggyback off of Leo because then I want to build up on after doing that and that performance, and the parents were there and we were there and the team was there and we're about to upload a YouTube video. What were, because you make it sound in, because you were so locked in, it's coming off. People don't really know how dialed you are, and I have observed it because we're living together. So I've seen the attentiveness to you just being a militant little Marine when it comes to just the structure of it, right? And so all I did as a coach, and when you see an athlete who is that discipline already coming into the picture, you know he has the potential. And that is why those results, I mean, you're talking about sweeping the show, getting the popular vote of the audience, overall best conditioning, overall best posure, overall best prepared. It came down to he's 21 years old and he's losing to people in their mid upper 30s. So the trajectory of when you talk about is the goal of becoming an IFBB pro within the next year to 2 years for Sean, is that within the realm of possibility? As the coach, I think it is. I think it's well within the realm of the immediate future. In the next 12 to 24 months, we're going to be having another conversation with Sean, and he's going to then be an IFBB pro. Pretentiously, just a little caveat detail, Sean's 100% natty, and he competed in a drug tested show. Right. So now he is qualified for the next 2 years to compete at the Ben Weider Natural Championships in Alexandria, Virginia, which is where Coach Killa Cam got his pro card way back in the medieval times of 2021.
I was going to say the
So
1980s.
right. Was there any adversity that you had to face, that you had to overcome to end up in the winner's circle this past weekend?
I am ultimately the indication of adversity, how you think and respond to the things that are going on around you. And obviously, prep is going to put you in a little bit of a different headspace as far as lower food, maybe like actual hormonal imbalances. But I don't know. I think I honestly thrive in that scenario where it's me versus me, and I know things are hard. If anything, I kind of find it comforting to be in that position, just because I know what the steps are to get to the goal. So when I'm in that locked in, 100% structured box, I guess it's kind of like the mental adversities are like an extra little boost of motivation to me,
Mm.
to be
So
honest.
you're kind of using it as reverse psychology to where you're actually embracing being, it's like you're getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, like outside of your comfort zone, essentially,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
you're actually saying that you thrive when you are kind of in an environment where you have to adapt and you have to, and it locks you in more. That's actually pretty intense,
And
So go ahead, Leo.
Sean, what would you say? Because I know you've done multiple preps before this one too, but it was
Mhm.
on your own in Pennsylvania and everything also. What would you say the main differences were from doing it at the team house with
Mm.
Cam and with Braden and everybody around you and on the team versus you doing it on your own?
Um, well, I will say, kind of like that fight of me versus me, I do like to have a certain allotted, like solidarity time. And I mean, I recognize the same things when staying with my family. We kind of just, you're on prep and things are in your head like by the minute. And then this person's using the pan for something and you're just like, ah, are you kidding me? Like, are you,
Yeah,
you know?
that's the
But
short fuse. Yep.
yeah. So I mean,
Mm.
other than little things, I honestly, I don't think The takeaways I've gotten from bodybuilding prep, even the ones where at the end of it I'm like, I don't even know if that was worth it. It's like
Mm,
it's always, I mean, because that's what I took away from it. Maybe it wasn't worth it. Why did I feel the need to go into that prep? Why did I push myself beyond this point where I thought, maybe the social media cap will be greater than the progress in bodybuilding I'll make over the next 6 months. So maybe keep progressing for the shreds. And then I do the show and I'm like, why haven't I spent the past 6 months putting on size? Because bodybuilding is my ultimate goal, not the social media. So I
mm,
think honestly, just through doing 5 preps and being super attentive to how I feel and what I'm doing on those preps, because as much as the bodybuilding prep is 100% locked in, I'd like to think, a bulk would be the same as a bodybuilding prep with just a little bit more of food, not necessarily
yep.
doing no cardio on the bulk, not necessarily. But so I think kind of having that mentality of bodybuilding, like the bodybuilding lifestyle, it transferred pretty easily into prep, and locking in all those extra factors just felt like it felt relieving, to be honest, because it's not like telling someone eating a micro based diet is better than eating a macro based diet is like rocket science, but actually implementing that into your daily actions takes something beyond understanding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
what
the discipline.
bodybuilding prep is. I mean, it's the monk mentality, it's the monastic lifestyle that you live.
Yeah.
And, I think that's why you've been successful this past weekend with the competition that you did, is because you're a monk.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
exemplifies. I mean, we don't even have to ask Sean because he just explained it. What does it mean to Sean to be a monk? Well, he just said it, right? And literally the accolades of the results of what it all led up to, and we can all look back because as one of the people who was just the GPS kind of given more of a turn by turn, when you have athletes that have that good sense of identity already, it's really just kind of spoon feeding more of the bodybuilding literacy to help people perform at a higher level, you know? And this was the first time that I've actually, well, it's not the first time actually. It's the first time that I've communed, right, with a client, athlete, and friend, and acquaintance, and all, and business partner, to where we're waking up and we're doing business by day. We're going to the gym, we're getting content, we're training. He's tracking his macros, but the system that was developed, right, before I even got up, I was able to look at my phone and see that he had logged, the weight and what the calories were the previous weeks. You know what I mean? So when you have that sort of locked in mentality, there are certain athletes or amateurs that get into this sport that maybe they reach 75% or 80% even, and I think that's where Sean was getting at. And then he started to just question himself on which direction he wanted to get pulled. And then he actually took it to a whole nother level by taking this prep very seriously and locking in like he's never locked in before. Which yielded the best physique he's ever produced in all the shows that he's competed, and it produced the best results. He's the one that develops the roadmaps now in the GP. We've upgraded to a GPS system, because
Yeah.
Sean was the one that dropped out of college before he came to MonkNation and was able to sustain at a very good rate. And, MonkNation was more so just helping him get more locked in with the competing more so. So, Sean's gift is he's doing really well competitively, but he also has a lot of literacy about how to coach online and train, and how social media and the algorithm with Instagram. So he's working one-on-one with the over 45 people we have on this team now. He's working exclusively. He's the counselor. He's the one that's trying to help the people that want to scale, whether it's grow following, make money. I mean, you're getting paid monthly from MonkNation. One of the things that me and Leo said was we would rather invest in our own guys, in our own
Mhm.
team, if they have the expertise to fulfill responsibilities and roles. So now you're like literally on payroll. There's commission, right? You didn't join for these things. You didn't join and ask for these things, but you really actually earned them. Explain what the future holds. Like, are you excited about the future? And what are some of the specific goals going into 2026 that you have for yourself and that you have with, also being a part of the team?
One thing for sure that I know I will carry as long as I possibly can, or my intentions allow me to, is I'm going to continue to do my best and see where it takes me. I like being a lifestyle fitness coach. So the bodybuilding and the social media, it's lifestyle fitness coaching. And I'm excited to have this part on MonkNation, have my own part for creative embracing and whatever else that I can foresee to include into something that I'm a part of and to actually expand and help the people on the team. I think as long as my intentions stay that, life can only provide me the best or I can learn from it.
And Sean, I want to go over this before we wrap everything up, bro. Number one, I don't think it's a coincidence that you became a monk and then you took 3 first place in the bodybuilding show. And you're not your average 21-year-old, bro. You took all the risk that there is possible. Number one, you dropped out of college. You took that risk to make sure that coaching was actually your full income. Number two, you left your hometown where you were comfortable with your parents and your family, and you decided to move across the country to Vegas and take a chance of being a monk full time and taking bodybuilding as your main love, and also really continuing the coaching business to fulfill your income and to fulfill your needs that you have in life. A lot of kids, bro, they can't even move down the street from their parents' house. A lot of kids, they can't commit to
In
a full
2025,
prep.
yeah.
A lot of kids, they can't commit to actually doing an entrepreneurship type of income.
Mhm.
And you were able to do all of those things, bro. I'm really happy to have you on the team.
Yeah.
Because
Thank you.
you're not your average person, bro.
No.
I appreciate that.
And I really think that you can inspire a lot of people, not only on the team, but the people that are not on the team and that are able to see this and actually understand what it takes to be a monk and what it takes to become successful in life.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm
And that's
excited
all,
to see
folks.
what the future holds.
Hey, we're going to get a Fred Jones shirt, and we're going to be at the Arnold. Everybody's going to be there. All the characters are going to be there. Fred will be there. We call him Fred Jones. Why? Because he looks like Fred Jones from Scooby-Doo. Yeah, dude, Leo pretty much, I'm not even going to reiterate any of that. He's a team player. He's a starter. It's an ideal representation of somebody that's committing to his goals, which are aligned with this team's goals. And so when the cohesion's there and everybody's on the same frequency with the commitment of it, it's dangerous. I'm just excited. Like you said, we're not coming up with any New Year's resolutions, but we know where we started at the beginning of this year, and we know how we're closing it, and it only gets everybody hyped going into 2026. Boom.
2026 is going to be huge, guys.
It's going to be fucking huge.
I mean, we haven't even dropped the details yet, but I mean, you'll see.